but like, you know, this like UI kind of stuff, you can do better here and you can do better. So I guess I was very direct with him, and in hindsight, it was probably not the best way to meet someone.
Ghostlore is a game developed by me and Adam, with me being the one who originally came out with the idea. It is a retro game made in the style of games that came out in the 90s, like Diablo 1 and 2. But instead of like in Diablo where you're fighting Western demons, right? We're having like angels and demons and all that stuff, right? It's more of like a Asian flavor, and it's more focused on the demons that are found in Singaporean, Southeast Asian folklore, such as the Toyos, and of course the Jiangshi, the Chinese hopping vampire. Hi, I'm Andrew.
Hi, I'm Adam.
And we are the creators of Ghostlore.
When I first saw Andrew post about Ghostlore on Reddit, I thought it was a really interesting idea, and I also thought that it was something I could really help him with, because he was not very strong technically, and I thought I could contribute in that way to make sure that it reached its full potential. So I messaged him, I was like, okay, like I'm interested in this game, I want to work with you on it, and we met up.
Adam, because after seeing the Reddit post, he actually sent me a DM and asked me, hey, you know, I'm a programmer, would you like to collaborate on this game? So at the time I thought, I guess there's no harm in meeting a new person.
So when I first met Andrew, I was like criticizing like part of the game. I was like saying that, okay, this is like great, but like, you know, this like UI kind of stuff, you can do better here and you can do better. So I guess I was very direct with him, and in hindsight, it was probably not the best way to meet someone. So Ghostlore has very much been an online production, I guess. So I've actually barely met Andrew in real life. We only meet just to hang out basically, and most of the work is done online on Discord. And that's how we met Sarah as well. So she's just someone who's been really successful in the US, and she just wants to give back to the indie gaming scene in Singapore. And so she's been helping us with Ghostlore's marketing as well online.
Hey Sarah.
Hi Sarah.
How are you?
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good,
Yeah,
I'm good. Nice to
good.
see you guys again. How are you all?
Yeah, good. How's the Discord for Ghostlore going?
It's getting a bit chattier in recent weeks, which is always nice to see. Going to be like more the bigger publications, maybe like newspapers versus streamers. And it's going to be more targeted towards like the local people versus just...
Welcome to my house. This is where we started working on Ghostlore. We usually have meetings here. So this was something which I worked on around the same time as Ghostlore, because I guess I like building things in general. So this is something we did from scratch. I actually built all the wood by myself. Welcome to my kitchen. Usually after working on Ghostlore, we might like cook a meal together to eat together, and I do like to eat chai tao kueh. This is my office, and most of the programming work for Ghostlore is done here.
It is actually very, very difficult to say what a good game actually is, because what we think about as games, right, or video games in particular, are actually a very, very wide range of activities. You would find that it's a bit like trying to compare basketball with chess, with solitaire. To me, a game that is actually good would be one that is easy to learn but difficult to master. So for me to create games which are easy to play but difficult to master, from a very simple rule set, there can be a lot of strategies. This is actually something that I try and design in my own games. So actually the game is 2D, but it still looks 3D. We are very, very like retro game. We sought to be very, very faithful to that to that look. So not only did we try to replicate the look just from the outside looking in, but we also tried to like replicate the workflow that they were using back in the 90s in order to make the game look very, very faithful. Right now, they could equip a variety of weapons that are also inspired by some of the local weapon sites. For example, you got the parang here, you got the kukris, which is kind of like I think it's more commonly known as the Gurkha blade, and you have those magic paper talismans, and you have the kris, which is the very, very distinctive curved sword. One thing that players were asking us about was that, why are the characters all just, dressed in black? I cannot change the look of my characters. So what I did was I actually went back to go in to actually create kind of like different styles of clothing for the 3D model. So now, based on this, right, Adam has actually created a software that will actually like randomize the colors of the clothing, so I don't have to do it by hand.
Something I'm passionate about for Ghostlore is the procedural generation in Ghostlore. So it's something we put quite a lot of effort in, and something which is, I think, quite true to the roots of Diablo likes. The maps are all procedurally generated, which means that the computer generates it each time, and every time you play, like, the map is made from scratch. So all the artwork which Andrew does is it makes it very fresh each time, even though it's the same few pieces of artwork every time, but every time you play, it's something completely different. When we launched the game, I had a small kind of party at my place, and it was quite funny because Andrew was really stressed about it. I don't even know what to say about that. Everyone was just like, are you okay, dude? Are you okay? And he just locked himself in the room the whole night, and he was just like, oh my goodness, what if this person hates the game, and nobody's gonna like the game, and there was nothing anyone could do to get him out of the room.
When the game launched, and there were a lot of sales, and there were a lot of positive review and positive press, I felt a tremendous amount of relief that I was wrong about my own game and Adam was right about it. Adam and I, we complement each other well in terms of our skill sets, because I am the artist and he is the programmer. Sometimes we also may disagree with each other about some things, but we do not consider this to be a bad thing necessarily. We consider it to be a part of how we complement each other, because we have a broader perspective of the issue. So fortunately, I think both of us are, even if we may disagree, we are still willing to change our minds as long as the other person can provide good evidence for why we should make a certain decision. I would say that I am a very, very perfectionistic person compared to Adam, who I feel is a more flexible thinker.
I think I've been very lucky working with Andrew, because in some ways we are very similar people. We are both very introverted people. We both do not deal well with talking with a lot of people, and we are both very direct, to the point. If you ask me or Andrew what do you think about this, I'll just tell you no, it's terrible, or it's bad. And obviously you cannot do that when you are working with everyone, right? Because people will just be really angry with you. So that's something which we really share in common. And in other ways, we are also very dissimilar, because Andrew, I guess, is an artist and I'm a programmer, and it's just very different the way we think about things. But at the end of the day, we can go back and we can sleep on it, and the next day we'll just be okay, yeah, you have a point in this, and we can compromise in between, and that really is very lucky, I guess. We actually have thought a little bit about whether we want to expand the company, whether you want to do the full-on video game company and hire people and deal with all of that, and it's very scary, because the moment you do that, you have a lot of responsibility, and we're not sure whether that's worth it. And I think my parents would be very happy to do that, but it's just maybe it's not for us, so we're kind of undecided in that, and I guess we'll see whether we want to go for that path. But I think it's also a very valid path to just want to do your craft Like to just want to be like a craftsman for like, okay, I'm going to be a really good programmer, and I think that's kind of underrated, especially in Singapore, where like everyone thinks that okay, to be like successful, you need to be the next CEO, or you need to be the next like Simon Kuhn or something. I think it's fine to just be like, okay, I'm going to be a really good programmer, I'm going to be a really good chef, or I'm going to be a really good artist, and like, yeah, I think that might be our path, might not be, I don't know.